Unlock the power of charisma. Eric Holt takes you on a journey of self-discovery and empowers you to unlock your inner charisma. You'll learn to build self-confidence, embrace authenticity, and develop a positive mindset that radiates charm and magnetism.
Hello, this is Eric Holt, and you are listening to Charisma, How to Talk to Anyone and Be More Charismatic in All Areas of Your Life with Powerful Techniques to Improve Small Talk Skills, Influence Others, Make Friends, and Become a Sociable Person, provided to you by United Audiobooks. I hope you enjoy my audiobook. Now, let us begin.
Introduction. You are acquainted with the individual. They are charming and radiant in every interaction, easy to converse with, and effortlessly extend an invitation to everyone. Even in the most unpleasant circumstances, this person never seems to be at a loss for words or to feel uncomfortable. Their entire being appears to be enveloped in an ethereal, angelic glow. The expression, "light up a room," was coined to describe them. They possess grace, spirit, and the capacity to pique the interest of even the most reclusive among us after a brief conversation. They are endearing, motivational, and oversized in many ways. Everyone has witnessed the charismatic speaker who commands attention, elicits tears and laughter, and leaves the audience feeling challenged, motivated, and inspired. Even though they might be authorities in their domains, knowledge alone cannot account for the admiration others feel for them. These influential people possess a desirable trait called charisma. Some people seem to have it from birth. Can charisma, however, be taught? Can likability be improved with deliberate practice? Some individuals simply have it. They are energizing to be around because of the way they communicate with others. They possess charisma, as it is often called. This is important since charisma increases one's chances of succeeding in life. People with charismatic personalities can influence others to take them seriously and act on what they say. Social scientists have been attracted by charisma for decades due to its significance. The good news is that charisma is no longer considered an enigmatic talent only a select few possess. Nowadays, we are aware that anyone may develop it. The study supports the idea that particular behaviors create charisma. So let's look at some practical ways you may boost your charisma and improve your networking abilities. Understanding charisma and its impact. Some people can lure people to them the way a lamp draws moths. John F. Kennedy and Winston Churchill shared that magnetism. Obama has demonstrated it. Its identification is simpler than its explanation. What is it? The word charisma comes from Greek and means divine favor, since genuine charisma might appear to be a divine gift. The German sociologist Max Weber defined charisma as a certain quality of an individual personality by which one is different from ordinary individuals and treated as endowed with superhuman, supernatural, or at least specifically special powers or qualities that are regarded as exemplary or divine in origin. Charisma is more important than ever when brands and individuals have a significant cultural impact. Large and small businesses alike understand that success starts personally, and they also understand the value of charismatic leaders because they can engage others in meaningful, priceless interactions. They also know that a leader with charisma and practical skills can be quite effective. The power of charisma. People that are charismatic close more businesses and earn more respect. A leader with charisma can enchant, persuade, and enthrall people just by the strength of their personality. As earlier said, charisma derives from the ancient Greek meaning divine power. Charismatic leadership aims to captivate a crowd and win them over. A charismatic leader typically possesses strong communication skills a charming demeanor, and a natural ability to persuade others of their points of view. Consider how difficult it would be to do anything significant in life. If more people support you, staying on Earth will be easier and more effective. People eager to assist you in your endeavors and believe in what you stand for are drawn to you like a magnet by your charisma. It's a crucial character attribute and a basic life skill since it allows you to get what you want out of circumstances while still being the nice guy. Another benefit of charisma is that it facilitates the growth of long-lasting connections since charismatic individuals are perceived as understanding others. This makes them delighted to collaborate and help you as much as possible. When was the last time someone respected and understood you? It's a rare encounter if you're like the majority of people. However, because of your charisma, these individuals can support you and rally others to do the same. You can see how creating positive self-esteem for others feeds back on you in a positive cycle. Another benefit is that happier relationships make us happier people overall. We'll talk more about how to do this in a bit, but when we embrace our individuality and learn to feel at ease in various settings, we're more likely to reach our full potential and project confidence no matter where we are. By putting more emphasis on the connections we can forge with others than on the distance between us and them, we will be able to take advantage of the chances that present themselves. What it means to be charismatic. Charisma is the ability to draw people to you, captivate them, and exert influence over them. Usually, it is easy to tell when someone is charismatic. However, it is often much more difficult to pinpoint precisely what abilities or traits those individuals possess that other, less charismatic individuals do not. There are numerous different varieties of charismatic people, which further complicates matters. Some people might be more reserved, possibly relying more on their charm than their words to persuade others. Some people communicate with passion and energy, enthralling everyone in their path. We've all encountered individuals who radiate confidence, have a way of capturing others' attention, and speak clearly and enthusiastically. They are the ones who can influence others, entice people to follow them, and effectively guide them. In the modern world, charisma is a strong quality that can significantly impact your life. Some people have charisma that comes naturally, but most can learn to become more charismatic. To leave your mark on the world, you must possess these 7 characteristics of highly captivating people. Number 1, they express themselves clearly. Forging relationships and building rapport with people, effective communication is essential. Charismatic people are liked because they are easy to understand. They are clear about what they want to communicate, use appropriate word choices, and speak simply so that everyone can comprehend what they are trying to convey. Clear communication prevents gaps, misunderstandings, and disputes and increases receptivity to your concept and point of view. It also significantly develops interpersonal relationships, deeper connections, and trust. Speaking clearly and firmly is merely one aspect of the situation. Because they have excellent speaking and listening abilities, charismatic individuals are likable and have a sizable following. They respect other people's viewpoints and demonstrate this by allowing them an equal opportunity to express themselves. People admire charismatic people more when they listen patiently to what they offer. Number 2, they are convincing. People with charismatic personalities are captivating. They are skilled in persuading people to pay attention to their ideas, perceive things from their perspective, and accept the validity of their justifications and arguments. As a result, they can persuade others to share their viewpoints and draw them closer to them. Because of their critical, persuasive skills, charismatic people are adept at presenting information, persuading others to support their plans and ideas, and are consequently skilled at negotiating contracts. Develop your persuasive abilities if you want to be a charismatic person, and convince others to support your thoughts and suggestions. This will allow you to win their support and influence them to fulfill your wishes. Number 3, they exude confidence. People are drawn to you and find you intriguing when you exhibit confidence. They are more likely to pay attention to you and follow your instructions. Charismatic people have high self-awareness and a strong sense of self. They experience self-assurance as a result, which is viewed externally as confidence. With self-confidence, you feel in charge of your life and are more willing to take initiative and make decisions. It also empowers you to overcome obstacles and deal with challenging and unforeseen circumstances. People with charismatic personalities make an impact that sticks with others, who continue to be in awe of them because they come off as assured, powerful, and upbeat. Number 4, they are capable of fixing issues. People with charismatic personalities are reliable and trustworthy because they have strong problem-solving abilities. Everybody encounters issues and challenges. Many people find it difficult to settle on a course of action while confronting problems, making judgments, and selecting choices. They experience a sense of being stranded because they cannot see a way out. When faced with obstacles and problems, those with charismatic personalities don't freak out or make a big deal out of it. They are aware that issues arise in life, so they acknowledge them, remain composed, and maintain their ground. They can identify the ideal answer to the issue by fastly reviewing the possibilities after brainstorming. Number 5, they have empathetic intelligence. People with charisma are adept at controlling their feelings. They can effectively manage their impulsive behavior, understand their sentiments, and use their feelings and emotions to take the right actions at the right moment. People with charismatic personalities are also adept at reading the moods and emotions of others. They can therefore address their problems and worries since they have a better level of empathy. This promotes collaboration, better connections, and deeper associations. Therefore, emotional intelligence is essential for success in all spheres of life. So increase your emotional intelligence if you want to become charismatic. Number 6, they are enthusiastic. Charismatic people stand out due to their positive outlook and energy. They are proactive, always prepared to start new tasks, handle problems as they arise, organize work, and settle disagreements. Charismatic people tend to be enthusiastic and passionate about what they do, which enables them to appreciate what they do and stay in the present. Charismatic individuals' high levels of energy and zest for life motivate those around them to work hard, advance quickly, and bravely meet problems that come their way. So if you want to inspire those around you and develop an irresistible charm, become intensely passionate about what you do. Take an interest in your work and show enthusiasm for it. Number 7, they are completely present. Everyone desires a sense of importance and for others to offer them their full attention. Charismatic individuals know this basic human need and go out of their way to give the person in front of them their full attention. They are adorable and make a great first impression due to their friendliness and engagement, but they also gain the respect and admiration of others by doing so. A charming personality shows real interest in the dialogue and positive body language, like nodding and making supportive gestures. This reassures the other person that they are being understood and validated. Unleashing your inner charisma. You probably heard the saying, thoughts become things. But what does that mean? When we engage with others, our behavior and energy are the product of our brain's different steps as they take in, filter, and digest information. Therefore, if we spend our time immersed in violence, upsetting TV, depressed over politics and socioeconomic problems, and watching the news from war-torn nations, it will fill our thoughts and influence our behavior. Like vampires at a Halloween party, if we spend time with pessimistic, glass-half-empty individuals, they will feast on our natural energy and leave us lifeless and exhausted. We will then drain the energy of the people we interact with. We feel and look good and radiate radiant energy when we are motivated, joyful in flow and working on what we love. This invites visitors to us who enjoy being in our space. One of the foundations of genuine charisma is self-esteem. We can only genuinely shine as the people we were meant to be when we fully value who we are and the special skills we offer. Some individuals mistakenly believe that making time for oneself each day is selfish. Nonetheless, this is a must. We instinctively communicate that we are important enough to make time to become our best selves when we care for ourselves. The fact that it has significantly impacted my life, business, connections, and friendships makes this a bit of a soapbox topic for me. So instead of writing yet another list of top tips, here are some of the things that have worked best for me. Build self-confidence. You may do a lot of things to increase your confidence. Some only require minor mental adjustments, while others require more effort and time to become ingrained habits. Take a look at your prior accomplishments. It's simple to lose confidence if you haven't accomplished anything. List all of your proud accomplishments, such as learning how to surf or passing an exam. Whenever you do anything you are happy about, add it to the list and keep it handy. Look at the list whenever you're feeling down and use it to remind yourself of all the great things you've accomplished. Consider what you're good at. Everyone has skills and strengths. What is yours? You can increase your self-confidence by identifying and attempting to improve your strengths. Set some goals. Define your goals and the steps you must take to attain them. They don't have to be lofty goals. They could even be as simple as baking a cake or organizing a night out with friends. Just concentrate on a few minor accomplishments you can erase from your list to boost your confidence in completing tasks. Encourage yourself. You will never feel confident if you constantly hear doubtful thoughts telling you are unworthy. Consider how you talk to yourself and how it can hurt your confidence. Encourage and treat yourself as you would your best friend. Find a hobby. Try to discover a cause for which you have a strong passion. Be it sports, knitting, photography, or anything else. Decide to try it once you've identified your interest. You'll probably be more driven and develop your skills quickly if you're interested in or passionate about a particular activity. Be true to yourself. Thinking and acting per your ideals and feelings rather than those of others means being loyal to yourself. If you're being true to yourself, feeling secure in who you are, and working towards things you will know will make you happy. It's a common misconception that being true to yourself entails being self-centered or resisting change, but that is not how the advice is intended to be taken. Being true to yourself entails using your finest qualities to achieve lasting satisfaction instead of momentarily fulfillment. Checking in with yourself often to realign your goals and allowing yourself to make mistakes along the way. Here are some pointers on how to stay true to yourself, whether you're still seeking it or looking for ways to defend it. Be honest with oneself. Be sincere. Realize your true self. Start looking for yourself if you do not yet know who you are. Keep yourself close by finding who you are. Hold fast and be loyal to yourself when many people are trying to influence you away from the course you are destined to take. Know yourself. Environmental awareness. Know your emotions and how to communicate them healthfully and truthfully. Be rooted in a world filled with conceit, selfishness, and fame-seeking. Think about good interests and causes. Learn to say no. To best serve your interests, learn to say no. The capacity to say no can be such a challenge for so many of us. Saying no is an important life lesson. Don't be afraid to speak up for what you want in life. Say no to whatever you desire. But also say yes to things. You can stay true to yourself by doing this. Discover your tribe. Make some nice friends and value them. Your friends ought to be there to help you stay grounded and live your best life. Your friends will help you remain truthful and self-aware. Stop trying to appease people. Enjoy yourselves. Humans have a strong innate desire to win over others. Humans often look to their fellow animals to validate their behavior or way of life. Don't look for other people's approval. Live for yourself and pursue your soul's desires. Do you. Do what you know is best for you. Defy social pressure and act in your own best interests. Knowing what to trust in light of society's and the media's constant barrage might be challenging. Believe in your intuition. Trust the gut instinct you're experiencing. You may use your intuition to make wise judgments because it is a natural emotion, in addition to maintaining your integrity and honesty. If you are self-aware, you are the only one who truly knows you. so trusting your intuition is essential to achieving your goals in life. This life might be difficult to navigate at times. Belief in oneself. You understand what to do. Let go of anything that does not improve your life. Let go of the emotional baggage to be authentic to yourself. Let go of anything that isn't benefiting your life any longer. Recognize that you are human and will make mistakes. Recognize the lessons, then proceed. Although it's never fun to admit you're wrong, we must learn to accept that we all make mistakes. The way we grow from our mistakes is what makes us human. Life's mistakes are lessons. Take note of them, then move on. Be honest and expressive. Keep an open mind and be willing to learn new ideas, but don't compromise who you are or what you believe. Learn to communicate your feelings effectively as yet another life tip. Develop positive mindset. As you are already aware, the brain is the organ of the mind. The center of all types of thinking is, therefore, the mind. The mind has the peculiar inclination to take in everything that enters its way, whether good or bad, if it is not properly restrained. As I previously stated, all of our thinking, silly and clever, insane and sane, shallow and deep, comes from the mind, and we completely base our judgments on it. Positive and negative thinking are incompatible. You can only have one or the other. It seems that thinking positively often results in wise decisions and thinking negatively usually results in poor decisions. Because of this, you must have an optimistic outlook to create the conditions for making deft and sensible choices. Therefore, the following 6 methods can help you get your mind to travel in a pleasant, thoughtful route. Be mindful of your thoughts. Positive or negative thoughts often emerge from your subconscious and find their way into the present, influencing your decision-making. Things that you perform unconsciously are automated. Most of the time, you are probably unaware of it. Any thought can enter your mind, but what matters most is your capacity to be present and conscious of it. Consider the things you're contemplating. Simply said, this means to be aware of your thoughts. It will be much easier to separate the bad from the good once you become conscious of your thoughts. Make positive thoughts a habit by learning to mute your negative thoughts consistently. This is crucial because negative thoughts can eventually destroy you, but positive thoughts will make you feel good about yourself and give you confidence. One unfortunate aspect of this is that negative thoughts always seep through and into you regardless of how upbeat you may be. Nevertheless, whether you realize it or not, you can regulate your thoughts and prevent them from running amok and wrecking your life. Be a versatile thinker. Simply said, versatile thinking means adapting and adjusting to a new and different thought. In other words, it demonstrates your readiness to consistently update your thinking for ongoing mental progress. Being open to new ideas might help you identify the ones that won't benefit the world. Your ability to think flexibly can aid in your journey towards self-realization. You are fully aware of whether any new thoughts are worthwhile to consider and how they significantly impact your personality and overall well-being as a being. Some thoughts in your head damage your thinking and can eventually cause you to think negatively. You might not see those thoughts as negative if you have a fixed and unbending way of thinking. You are prone to rejecting new thoughts and methods because you believe you already possess the right way of thinking. This is the height of self-deception. Your rigidity will always make distinguishing between correct and incorrect thinking impossible because its only goal is to prevent change. But thinking flexibly will help you avoid this absurd and foolish act of rigidity and also enable you to develop positive thinking. Examine your principles and outlook. Your beliefs influence your thoughts, which in turn influence your words, which influence your actions, which influence your habits, which influence your values, which influence your destiny. Therefore, changing your thinking requires you to reflect on and analyze your beliefs and what you consider valuable. You can't genuinely live a life of constant positive thinking without looking deep inside yourself to find and discard unworthy beliefs and ideals because your internal flaws will undoubtedly influence your thinking. What is inside us is much more important than what is in front of us or behind us. Elements like good values and strong belief systems can influence positive thinking. Being truthful with oneself would make recognizing those unworthy ideals and beliefs easier. In essence, you should try to destroy them to make room for new and improved ones. Read books that will improve your intellect. Reading is one of the best methods to learn and have a good outlook. Read as much as you can because learning never tires the mind. Reading quality literature expands your thinking and lets you see things beyond the obvious. A book is like a seed. They can slumber for centuries before blooming in the least favorable soil. Pick a book to expand your thinking and read it carefully. Don't worry about how the entire growth process will play out. It will happen eventually and unexpectedly. Through regular reading, one can cultivate a positive outlook while also learning new things. Even the most learned intellect has something to discover. You can learn many things by reading a book that will change how you see the world. Reading widely opens your mind to new ideas and possibilities, which causes your perception to develop into optimism. Choose the right company. The people you surround yourself with can influence your views and actions. You tend to gradually adopt a positive mindset when you're in the right group, where you guys continually build and encourage rather than ridiculing and discouraging each other because the individuals around you are so upbeat and consistently use the appropriate language. True statements advance your thinking. On the other hand, if you move with the wrong company, one with pessimism ingrained in its members, you can find yourself thinking similarly to them since you unconsciously believe and pay attention to what they say. It's awful that they were successful in transferring, or should I say, sharing their brains with yours. Learn to always move with the proper group of individuals since they will always see the wider and better picture, regardless of how things may appear. They'll always find a way to think positively, which is advantageous. This group shouldn't be let loose since they are always ready to rekindle your light with their inner fire whenever it feels dim and gloomy. Don't let your feelings define you. Your emotions often drive most of your responses, thoughts, actions, behavior, and even how you see others. It happens to be where most individuals look for direction and guidance. But just so you're aware, your feelings aren't always accurate. All the more reason why you shouldn't allow your emotions to skew your judgment. Don't let your feelings dictate how your life will turn out. This will just cause chaos. Emotions are transient states of being. They never last indefinitely. Additionally, negativity will always enter if you are drawn to continually wanting to combine your thoughts and feelings because our feelings are usually devoid of any real value. As a result, it's crucial that you take control of your emotions and never, ever let them take the lead. Controlled emotions are often the source of and a catalyst for positive thinking. To sum up, your mentality will always be as it is unless you're prepared to change. And I think you want to switch to a positive frame of mind rather than a negative one. You must acknowledge and start acting on these positives in your life.
I hope you're enjoying my audiobook so far. It would be a pleasure if you could let me know how you're feeling about this audiobook in the comments section below. We would greatly appreciate it if you could also like this video and subscribe to United Audiobooks to have access to more best-selling audiobooks in the future. Also, please, if you are interested in getting more free audiobooks, please click the first link in the description below. Now, let's carry on with the next chapter.
Mastering the art of small talk. A mistake would be to view small talk as being meaningless. Developing this skill can help you in both your personal and professional lives. Therefore, study this chapter to learn everything there is to know about the little used but unquestionably crucial small talk. You arrive somewhere new and scan the area for familiar faces. However, you soon learn that there are none. As a result, try avoiding everything and wishing for a covert escape. You might avoid engaging in conversation by loitering about the table or frequently entering and exiting the bathroom. However, experts claim that the small talk chat is not worthless. By becoming an expert at small talk, you can avoid encountering uncomfortable social situations, small events, or other situations where you are a stranger. Developing your small talk skills is a simple method to interact with others. It involves continuing, establishing, and concluding conversations with friends or strangers. Small talk meaning. Small talk is an approach to starting a conversation. Making small talk is a means to get in touch and establish connections with others and long-lasting relationships with friends, business partners, coworkers, and others. You can craft the sentences you want to use in small talk, and you'll soon discover that it's a good method to grow and widen your network. The weather, movies, culture, books, news headlines, careers, and more are timeless small talk topics. The importance of small talk. Just try to remember, how did you make a strange connection feel comfortable? Small talk may be the solution. Positively making use of small talk can make life smoother and more success-oriented. You can never predict who you'll run into next. These conversations enable you to create an excellent framework for communicating with everybody you meet. Additionally, it gives you enough room to show your ideas nicely. In addition to this, the following points also emphasize the significance of small talk. It makes you smarter. According to specialists, these discussions improve a person's capacity for problem solving. Few social situations can persuade someone to think differently and approach a subject from a new angle or with a different answer. It is spontaneous. The nicest thing about these discussions is that you never know where they will go. It's also great that there is no risk involved in participating. Sometimes the outcomes of these discussions are so fruitful that they lead to amicable interactions or even the signing of a commercial contract. It makes you more aware. These discussions unquestionably make you aware of the present. As a result, you start to pay attention to everything around you and become more alert. Even if your communication options may be restricted to a smartphone, this learning method from otherwise minds can be quite helpful. It can make you more popular. If you want to influence others and make new acquaintances, it's imperative that they all like you. People enjoy conversing with others who are generous and self-assured. You must remember that small talk is more than just a means of amusement and information exchange. Additionally, it is a considerate show of respect that most people value. As a result, you feel better about who you are. Maybe your personality isn't the best, yet everyone has certain unique qualities that set them apart. While you might not even be aware of the special abilities that set you apart from others, you do have them, and they can help you communicate those abilities to others. Everyone inevitably needs it. Small talk is crucial since practically everyone needs it. Whether you are pursuing a new career, wanting to spend some time with your coworkers, signing a binding business contract, or simply entertaining friends, these situations necessitate the skill to make small talk. According to experts, your pitch is crucial for your business to succeed. Even brief, harmless conversations with the clients are crucial. Companies consistently seek someone who can think outside the box. Small talk tips can help you. Overcoming social anxiety, starting conversations. It can be stressful to converse with strangers. We may naturally desire to make friends since we are social beings, and we may also want other people to like us. But for so many of us, making these friends can be challenging, especially if you experience mild to severe social anxiety symptoms. Despite your anxiety, follow these tips on how to make friends and have significant social ties. Take the initiative. It cannot be easy to approach someone, but you might find the conversation easier than anticipated once you are there. According to research, repetition and practice are crucial components of a successful conversation confidence building plan. Try making a confident first impression by walking up to someone with your head held high and your back straight. Start the discussion with a simple topic. Not every conversation must get off on a serious note to become significant. To initiate a conversation, try doing so with a simple statement. Consider the following scenario. You are at a party and spot a person you want to talk to. Try opening with something simple like, "What are you drinking tonight?" Or, "How do you know the host?" rather than approaching them and instantly sharing your entire story. These simple conversation starters are enough to start things and may inevitably lead to deeper discussions later. Maintain your interest and attention. If others sense you are not engaged in the conversation, they will quickly become irritated. Pay close attention to what they are saying and pay close attention to them. The conversation will flow more smoothly if you pay attention, since related stories and follow-up questions will inevitably arise. Additionally, show them throughout the talk that you are still paying attention. When they are speaking, for instance, nodding your head and maintaining eye contact are often sufficient to let them know that you are still interested in paying attention. Avoid using your phone. When you're socializing, social anxiety may cause you to hide or rely on a crutch, like avoiding eye contact or using your phone. But these behaviors can be offensive to someone unaware that you are experiencing anxiety, which increases the risk of a bad experience or self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be helpful to develop positive social experiences that you can call on in the future to conquer social anxiety. Keep the dialogue balanced. When conversing with a new individual, talking too much or too little can be easy. However, you might not want either side of the conversation to feel like they are in an interview. According to studies, conversations work best when both parties feel heard, and the conversation is fair. Strive to balance asking about their life and sharing personal stories. Know when to end a conversation. Eventually, every conversation might reach its conclusion. Pay attention so you can tell when this has occurred. Watch for signs that the other person wants to end the relationship. Are there no more topics to discuss? Is the person you're talking to trying to go quietly? Pay attention to these indicators and act accordingly. You don't want to put somebody under pressure inadvertently. Don't hold a conversation you aren't interested in. You shouldn't feel pressured to continue a conversation you aren't interested in or feel bad if you have to leave one. If the conversation chemistry isn't there, going on is acceptable. Be ready to change topics depending on who you are speaking to. A talk may last for several minutes on some topics while only lasting a few minutes on others. When conversing with someone, pay attention to their interests and be ready to switch to those topics when the present one loses its attractiveness. This will probably lead to a longer conversation and demonstrate to the other person that you are paying attention and are interested. Never pretend to be someone or something you are not. It could make sense to act a certain way to impress someone, but doing so can lead to problems in the future. Be sincere when you speak to someone. Inform them if there is something you don't like. Tell them if you can relate to anything they said. You risk accidentally preventing a true connection with someone if you strive to be someone else. Tips for active listening and genuine interest. Everyone has experienced this. You're discussing with someone when suddenly you find yourself at a loss for words. You avoid making eye contact, glancing up at the ceiling, or smiling awkwardly, whatever it takes to break the awkward silence. There is always a chance for dead air, whether you're conversing with someone you've just met or going on a date with your long-term partner. So, how can you maintain a lively conversation? We can offer advice. Here are 7 strategies to maintain a lively and fluid conversation. Number 1, pay attention. If you aren't paying attention to what the other person is saying, you can't respond to them or interact with them. What are they interested in talking about? A one-way conversation in your favor won't work. What do they contribute to the discussion that you could elaborate on? When you actively listen, you don't plan your next words as the other person is speaking. The other person can see that you're paying attention to them since you seem interested and engaged in them. They'll be more likely to continue the conversation if they believe you value what they say. Number 2, pay attention to body language. Are you sitting back with your arms crossed? Or do you appear interested? Do you regularly scan your phone or your surroundings? Whether on purpose or not, acting indifferent is a major conversation killer. Focusing on something other than the person speaking conveys that you would rather be somewhere else than with them. Number 3, take part in small talk. It turns out that small talk isn't as embarrassing as everyone believes it to be. You must start small before truly opening yourself and feeling at ease with someone. Feel free to discuss the news, your favorite music, or the most recent movie you watched. Those brief exchanges will eventually pave the way for longer, more in-depth discussions. Also, if you reveal personal information about your life too quickly, the other person might not be ready. Number 4. Ask open-ended questions. The conversation may stagnate if you or the other person asks many yes or no questions. Asking open-ended questions is the best course of action. Try, "What type of music are you into?" instead of, "Do you like concerts?" Then you can ask them about their most recent concert, favorite performance, and the artist they plan to see. Consider it as having a ripple effect. Any questions you ask should aim to elaborate on the initial question. A question like, "Do you like cats?" or "Do you enjoy watching crime documentaries?" is a surefire technique to finish your conversation at a dead end. Number 5. Let your guard down to a certain extent. What would happen if we just ceased filtering out our thoughts throughout a discussion to avoid saying something weird or uncool? Speak to someone you feel comfortable speaking your thoughts to, as this is the greatest approach to test it out. Tell them about that bizarre dream you had, that embarrassing incident from 5th grade, or your hidden preference for pineapple on pizza without holding back. The conversation advances more quickly the more honest you are. Number 6. Tell interesting stories, even if they don't concern you. Use a variety of stories. You might choose a touching story from the news, a joke about a famous person, or your sibling's most recent success, of which you are incredibly proud. It's an opportunity to learn more about one another's personality and what makes you find each other interesting, humorous, sad, etc. Despite this, you should still avoid gossip, especially if you don't know each other well. It can undoubtedly annoy someone. Share relatable, interesting stories to get both of you thinking and talking. Number 7. Give a "tell me more" response. In case of uncertainty, tell them to continue. Here's where attentive listening is useful. Ask them to elaborate if you're interested in what they have to say. Ask them what their expertise was if, for instance, they remark briefly that they participated in the 7th grade talent show. Manifest a sincere interest in their story. It demonstrates that you are paying attention and offers them the assurance and comfort they require to converse. Not everyone makes for good conversation. Take a break. Learning the art of conversation takes time and practice. If you sense the conversation is dragging, remain composed, take a deep breath, and be genuine. No one is to blame for an awkward, silent talk, which does not indicate how the other person feels about you. The advice above is for when two people need a vocal boost. Keep it lighthearted, enjoyable, genuine, and most importantly, sincere. You can't fail when you let the true you direct what you have to say. Nonverbal communication and body language. The vast bulk of what we discover about human behavior is nonverbal. It is communicated through nonverbal cues. Understanding and employing this effective yet subtle communication can help you navigate tricky political circumstances and shape interpersonal connections. Additionally, it will make dealing with challenging individuals easier. In addition to what is said, nonverbal communication uses a variety of channels to express meaning. These include hand gestures, body language, facial expressions, vocal inflection, and pitch. People's eyes are a major source of nonverbal communication for us. This explains why determining the meaning of a phone call or written words is often difficult. Learning to read body language can substantially enhance your relationships and understanding of others because it is a natural component of our communication toolkit. However, it is an art that should be approached with some caution. Misinterpretation can have horrifying repercussions, especially in a highly politicized workplace. Understanding nonverbal cues. You must keep learning to read nonverbal cues like body language throughout your career. Although everyone employs nonverbal communication uniquely, there are a few universal signs to watch for that will reveal a person's sentiments, intentions, and motivations. Focusing on the verbal and nonverbal cues a person uses when talking with them might be useful. Here are several indicators you might notice. Facial expressions. An incredibly large number of nonverbal communications are carried out through facial expressions. Think about how much information a grin or a frown can say. Often, before we hear what someone has to say, the first thing we notice about them is how they look. Even while nonverbal behavior and communication might differ significantly between cultures, happiness, sadness, anger, and fear-related facial emotions are universal. Gestures. Without words, deliberate gestures and signals are crucial for conveying meaning. Waving, pointing, and making the thumbs up sign are common gestures. Other hand gestures are arbitrary and culturally specific. For instance, in the United States, making the shape of a V with your index and middle fingers while holding your palm outward is often interpreted as a victory or peace sign. Nevertheless, this gesture may be viewed as offensive in Britain, Australia, and other countries. Given how effectively they can impact juror perceptions, nonverbal communication through gestures is so powerful and influential that some judges set restrictions on which ones are permitted in the courtroom. An attorney can indicate that the other lawyer's case is tiresome by quickly peering at their watch, or they can roll their eyes while a witness testifies to discredit that individual. Paralinguistics. Paralinguistics is vocal communication that is different from spoken language. This type of nonverbal communication involves volume, intonation, pitch, and tone of voice. Take voice tone as an illustration of its significant impact on a sentence's meaning. Strong vocal tones can cause a comment to sound approved and enthusiastic to listeners. The same words can express contempt and lack of interest when used cautiously. Posture and body language. Additionally, movement and posture can provide a lot of information. Since the 1970s, there has been a substantial increase in body language research due to the popular media's emphasis on the incorrect interpretation of protective postures such as arm and leg crossing. Although these nonverbal cues can express emotions and attitudes, body language is often nuanced and less certain than once thought. Proxemics. Proxemics is another effective form of nonverbal communication that people often use to express their need for personal space. We perceive some of the space around us as belonging to us and some of it as being necessary. Social practices, cultural norms, surrounding factors, personality characteristics, and level of familiarity are just a few. When conversing casually with someone, anywhere between 18 inches and 4 feet of personal space is required. When speaking to a large group of people, an emotional distance of between 10 and 12 feet is typically required. Eyes fixed. Nonverbal communication involves the eyes. Crucial indicators include glancing, staring, and blinking. For instance, your blinking rate and pupil size increase when you come across individuals or things you appreciate. Eyes can convey various feelings, such as hatred, intrigue, and attraction. Additionally, eye contact cues are often used to determine someone's sincerity. Regular steady eye contact is often interpreted as indicating integrity and reliability. On the other hand, unsteady eyes and the inability to maintain eye contact are commonly seen as signs of dishonesty or deception. However, some studies contend that eye contact is not a reliable indicator of lying behavior. Haptics. Touch-based communication is an essential nonverbal communication technique. Touch can convey affection, familiarity, pity, and other feelings. Additionally, status and power are often communicated through touch. Individuals with high rank tend to enter the personal space of others more often and intensely than individuals with lesser status. Variations in how people use touch to convey messages based on gender also play a part. Women often use touch to express care, nurturing, and concern. On the contrary, men are more likely than women to use physical touch to exert influence or control over others. Appearance. Nonverbal communication is also thought to occur through our choices in hairdo, dress, and other physical characteristics. According to color psychology studies, various emotions can be evoked by various emotions. Physiological responses, assessments, and interpretations can all be influenced by appearance. Just think about all the snap judgments you make about individuals based purely on how they appear. Experts urge job searchers to dress professionally for interviews with potential employers since first impressions count. According to research, a person's attractiveness can influence their earnings. Good-looking people typically have higher incomes and other perks, such as better jobs. Culture has a big impact on how people evaluate looks. In contrast to Western society, which often values thinness, some African cultures value fuller figures as indicators of superior social standing, prosperity, and health. Artifacts. Other means of nonverbal communication involve objects and imagery. For instance, you might choose an avatar in an online forum to represent your identity and convey details about who you are and what you like. People often invest a lot of effort in surrounding themselves with items that symbolize important things and creating an image for themselves. For example, uniforms can be used to send much personal information. A doctor will dress in a white lab coat, a military in fatigues, and a policeman in a certain gear. These outfits make it obvious to onlookers what that person does for a living. They are consequently good at nonverbal communication. Enhancing your body language. How to use body language is not specifically advised. What you do could be viewed differently depending on the situation and the person you are speaking to. You should probably use different body language when speaking to your employer versus a boy or a girl you're interested in. These are some typical perceptions of body language and often better methods to express yourself through your body. To change your body language, you must first be aware of it. Keep an eye on your posture, how you use your hands and legs, and what you do while speaking to someone. Consider practicing in front of a mirror. Yes, it may appear silly, but nobody is looking. This will provide useful feedback on how others perceive you and allow you to practice a little before venturing into the real world. Another suggestion is to close your eyes and picture how you would stand and sit to feel assured, open, and calm, or to communicate whatever you want. See how you would move if you were that person. Then give it a go. You may also want to pay attention to your friends, role models, celebrities, or people you believe to have good body language. Watch what they do and what they don't. Take parts of different people that you like. Use what you can from them if you can. Some of these suggestions can give the impression that you are acting. However, faking it until you make it might be a beneficial learning strategy. Remember that emotions sometimes operate in reverse. You'll feel happy if you grin a little more. You will feel more energized and in control if you sit up straight. You'll feel more at ease if you move more slowly. Your emotions will support your new activities and you'll experience less weirdness. It's easy to overdo your body language at first. You might always sit up straight or with crossed legs almost absurdly wide apart. It's all right. People aren't looking as much as you might believe. Instead, they are preoccupied with their problems. To discover a balanced position that feels good, just experiment a little. Number 1. Avoid crossing your legs or arms. You've probably previously heard that crossing your arms can give the impression that you're being defensive or guarded. This also applies to your legs. Keep your legs and arms extended. Number 2. Make eye contact, yet avoid zoning out. Give everyone you are speaking to some eye contact to improve connection and check to see whether they are listening, especially if you are speaking to a group of people. Too much eye contact could frighten people. Avoiding eye contact could give off an edgy vibe. If you're not used to maintaining eye contact, it could seem awkward or frightening at first, but if you practice, you'll become used to it. Number 3, be willing to occupy some space. Taking up space, such as sitting or standing with your legs slightly apart, conveys self-confidence and a sense of security in your skin. Number 4, let your shoulders drop. Your shoulders might easily become stiff when you're feeling stressed. They may advance a little bit up and forward. Try to relax. Shake your shoulders and move them back a little to try to relax. Number 5, Nod when they are speaking. Occasionally nod to show that you are paying attention. Don't go overboard, though, and peck like Woody. Number 6. Sit up straight and avoid slouching. But not in a stressful manner, just in a calm way. Number 7. Don't lean too much. Leaning toward the person speaking will convey your attention to what they are saying. Lean back a little to convey that you are at ease and self-confident. But be careful not to infringe too much, or you can appear desperate and needy. Or, if you lean back too far, you could come off as arrogant and remote. Number 8. Laugh out loud. Relax and stop taking yourself so seriously. Unwind a little. Grunt and chuckle at amusing things others say. People will be much more receptive to what you say if you come across as positive. However, refrain from laughing first at your jokes. Doing so makes you come out as unsure and needy. When meeting new people, make eye contact and smile. If you don't, you'll come out as insincere. Number 9. Avoid touching your face. The listener or other participants in the talk may become distracted by your apparent nervousness. Number 10. Keep your head up. Keep your eyes off the ground. Doing so could make you feel uneasy and disoriented. Maintain a straight posture while gazing outward. Number 11. Move more slowly. This applies to a lot of things. You'll appear more composed and certain and feel less worried when walking slowly. When someone approaches you, move your neck more gently in their direction rather than quickly. Number 12. Keep still. Additionally, try to stop, reduce, or change restless movements and nervous tics like shaking your leg or tapping your fingers quickly against the table. When you try to communicate, you'll appear anxious or tense, and squirming might be distracting. If you tend to wander, simplify your motions. Try to unwind, take it easy, and move with intention. Number 13. Make more assured use of your hands. Use your hands to convey what you are trying to express rather than fidgeting and scratching your face. Use your hands to give them more weight when describing something or trying to make a point. However, don't overuse them, or they could become annoying. Additionally, keep your hands under control and avoid flailing them around. Number 14. Sip more slowly. Holding your drink in front of your chest is improper. Avoid keeping anything in front of your heart because doing so will make you appear remote and guarded. Instead, bring it down and hold it next to your leg. Number 15. Recognize the end of your spine. It's common for people to sit or stand with a straight back when they have good posture, including myself until lately. They might, however, mistakenly believe that the neck is where the spine stops and hold themselves in the Montgomery Burns position. The back of your skull is where your spine ends. For optimal posture, keep your entire spine straight and aligned. Number 16. Avoid getting too close. One of the things we took away from Seinfeld is that everyone finds a close talker unsettling. Don't intrude on other people's private areas. Number 17. Mirror. When two people get along well and have a strong connection, they often begin to reflect each other unconsciously. This implies that you somewhat mimic the other person's body language. You can attempt some proactive mirroring to improve the connection. You might also lean forward if they do. You might do the same if she places her hands on her thighs. However, don't immediately respond and don't mimic every shift in body language. Number 18. Keep a positive outlook. Lastly, maintain a cheerful, receptive, and unhurried attitude. Your body language will convey your feelings, which can significantly impact you. You can change your body language, but it takes time to form new habits. If you have spent thousands of days looking at your feet, fixing certain habits such as keeping your head up may take some time. Additionally, modifying too many things at once might be daunting and confusing. Work on a few of these aspects of body language each day for 3 to 4 weeks. By that time, you need to have formed new routines and become accustomed to doing them. If not, continue until it does. After that, focus on a further 2 things you want to change. Reading others' body language. If you know what to look for, Body language may reveal a wealth of information about what other people are thinking. And who hasn't yearned to be able to read people's minds? More body language indicators are already picked up on than you know. According to UCLA research, only 7% of communication is based on the words we use. The remaining 38% is determined by voice tonality, while the remaining 55% is determined by body language. Recognizing and understanding that 55% will offer you an advantage while interacting with others. Anything that can provide you an advantage is powerful and will speed up your path to success when you're working hard and doing everything you can to reach your goals. Watch for these indicators the next time you're in a meeting, or even out on a date or playing with your kids. Crossed arms and legs indicate opposition to your suggestions. Physical obstacles like crossed arms and legs indicate the listener is not receptive to your message. Even when they are grinning and conversing in a friendly manner, their body language conveys a lot. Crossed legs or arms psychologically indicate that a person is physically, mentally, and emotionally cut off from what is in front of them. It is so revealing because it is not deliberate. Eyes crinkle with genuine smiles. The mouth can deceive, but the eyes can't when smiling. Sincere grins reach the eyes, causing the skin around them to wrinkle and form crow's feet. The next time you want to determine whether someone is truly smiling, look for crinkles in the corner of their eyes. People often smile to conceal what they are thinking and feeling. If they aren't there, something is concealed by that smile. It's wise to have people mimic your body language. Have you ever observed someone doing the same thing whenever you cross or uncross your legs during a meeting? Or when they listen to you speak, they lean their heads in the same direction. That is encouraging. When we experience a connection with another individual, we automatically mirror their body language. It indicates that the exchange is going well, and that the other person is listening to your words. Knowing what the other party is truly thinking about the transaction can be very helpful while negotiating. Posture conveys meaning. Have you ever seen someone enter a room and recognize they were in command before they even spoke? Body language plays a significant role in creating that effect and often involves an upright posture, movements made with palms down, and wide and expansive gestures in general. The brain is programmed to connect strength with how much room people occupy. A powerful position is to stand up straight with your shoulders back since it seems to enhance the amount of space you occupy. Conversely, slouching causes your form to collapse. It gives the impression of taking up less room and projecting less force. Whether or not you are a leader, maintaining a decent posture commands respect and encourages engagement. Lies telling eyes. Look me in the eye when you talk to me is probably something most of us heard growing up. In some ways, our parents were correct when they said it's difficult to keep someone's attention while you lie to them. But because everyone knows that, many people purposefully maintain eye contact to conceal their deception. The issue is that most of them overcompensate by keeping uncomfortable eye contact. Americans often maintain eye contact for 7 to 10 seconds, which is longer when listening than when speaking. Someone may lie to you if their gaze causes you to cringe while speaking, especially if they are completely steady and unblinking. High brows indicate pain. Your eyebrows will most likely rise when you are surprised, worried, or afraid. Try lifting your eyebrows when having a friendly, casual conversation with a friend. Isn't that challenging? If a conversation partner raises their eyebrows when discussing something that shouldn't logically surprise, concern, or frighten them, something else is happening. Excessive nodding reveals concern about acceptance. When you're explaining something to someone and they nod, it's a sign that they're worried about your opinion or that you don't trust them to do as you've asked. A clenched jaw indicates anxiety. Stress symptoms include clenched teeth, a stiff neck, and wrinkled brows. Regardless of what they are saying, these are uncomfortable indications. The subject of their anxiety may come up in conversation, or perhaps their attention is elsewhere, and they are concentrating on the source of their anxiety. It's important to watch for any discrepancy between what someone says and what their tense body language is trying to convey to you. The main line is that even if you cannot understand someone's exact thoughts, you can still deduce much about them based on their body language. This is particularly true when a person's words and behaviors don't match. Influencing others effectively. One of the key abilities of leaders at all levels is the capacity for persuasion. Many believe a person's charisma, intelligence, and self-confidence determine their ability to persuade others. It could appear later in life with a significant title or expanding bank account. In actuality, we all possess this skill. However, most of us miss out on using this skill because we think persuasion comes naturally. Influence-making ability does not just happen. The people we adore are guiding us using the same method that has been effective for ages. It is a skill that has been carefully developed and involves careful intention. Here are 7 essential steps to mastering persuasion if you want to develop your ability to influence. Techniques to influence people. Everything we do depends on our capacity to establish meaningful connections with others and long-lasting bonds. Without developing strong relationships, it is impossible to sell a house, buy a house, advance in most occupations, market a product, pitch a story, teach a house, etc. The finest outcomes are produced by teams when managers carefully appeal to their sensitivities rather than using force to motivate them. By employing these strategies, individuals can positively influence others and lead them toward success, excellence, and productivity, changing the world one person at a time. There's a strong chance you know someone who excels at elevating others and making a difference. The request from this specific individual sounds like music to your ears, in contrast to the demands of others, which sounds like nails on a chalkboard. You enjoy listening and following instructions. Here are some pointers on how to have a positive influence on others. Be sincere. You must be genuine if you want to influence others positively. Discover what makes you different to start having a good impact on people rather than trying to be a carbon copy of another person's concept of authenticity. Find your unique viewpoint on a subject, then live up to and respect it. Social media influencers' dominance is partly due to their ability to carve out a specific niche for themselves or to handle a well-known problem freshly or unusually. People are naturally drawn to those whose public persona and principles align. We dislike contradictions because we need stability. When someone claims to be one thing but behaves differently, it suggests they are confused or unreliable and therefore not being who they claim to be. Both of these pairings are unlikely to have a good impact on others. Pay attention. My father advised me as a child to consider what other people had to say. He advised me that if I were a good listener, I would learn everything there was to know about a person's viewpoint, character, wants, and desires. You must pay attention to what is said and what is not stated to understand how to influence others. That explains why people require certain things to feel accepted, supported, and seen. A person is less likely to be favorably influenced by someone if they believe they are invisible and unnoticed by their superiors. A person's basic desire for validation and approval is satisfied by listening to them and showing real interest in what they say. This creates positive energy. Become an authority. Most individuals tend to respect authority, if not just listen to it. Become an authority in the field where you wish to inspire people if you want to affect them positively. Do as much reading and research as possible on the topic, and then look for chances to apply what you've learned to practice. Opinions are subject to debate. Arguments about facts, on the other hand, are foolish, and experts provide facts. Start with a story. I've worked in public relations for many years, so I know how powerful personal accounts, endorsements, and impact stories can be. But the power of a well-timed and well-told story never ceases to astonish me. Learn how to tell stories if you want to persuade others. Your story should be connected to the topic or idea you are debating. They ought to be a metaphor or analogy that clarifies your subject in simple words and vivid detail. A well-told narrative can be the ideal tool for capturing someone's emotions, which will be useful as you learn how to affect others favorably. Set the bar high. Observing brilliant, driven people at work or play is immensely encouraging. Human nature values the remarkable, which is one of the reasons a non-athlete might be in awe of athletic prowess. We can see the effort of people who give their best every day when we watch competitive sports like ice skating, gymnastics, and the Olympics. Even if we don't attend the Olympics, we appreciate extraordinary achievements and think we may achieve great things by following in their footsteps. We must lead by example, with intention, and execute perfectly to influence others positively. Catch good behavior by others. Observing others exercising positive influence is a highly effective strategy. Instead of searching for issues, look for solutions. Look for actions taken by your coworkers, subordinates, and bosses that improve the quality and enjoyment of your work. These actions are sometimes unnoticed yet are vitally significant. When you witness someone doing something excellent, mention it and acknowledge it. Showing them that you care about their achievement will benefit all the personal and professional connections you hope to make. Complimenting someone is a simple way to make a difference in their lives. Offer a lot of praise. It didn't take me long to identify a noteworthy quality in a previous supervisor. Not only did he start and end sessions with praise, but he also sprinkled praise throughout the conversation. He devised a strategy highlighting his team members' special qualities and abilities. He was able to identify what people were doing well and let them and their coworkers know as soon as possible. Meetings were more than just a time to check off things on a to-do list. They were also occasions to recognize and reward successes, no matter how little they may have been. When learning how to influence others, this is crucial. This invariably has a favorable impact on those nearby. A person who feels valued will be more likely to go above and beyond with anything you ask of them, so keep that in mind. Choose kindness over right. It's easy to fall into a loop of self-promotion. Being right is crucial for people who lack self-confidence or value other people's perspectives. Being viewed as right provides validation which feeds one's ego. But in our attempts to be right, we sometimes cause harm to others and incite hatred in others. It is far more difficult to convince someone to listen to what we're trying to persuade them to do after we've hurt them by being nasty. The best way to deal with those who bully you is to put kindness above right. You can maintain your integrity while yet being kind. For instance, many people feel that they require the validation of others for their experiences. You become offended if someone does not interpret a scenario as you do, yet your experience is your experience. If you go out to lunch with your friends and develop food poisoning, you don't need your friends to concur that the restaurant's food is unhealthy. All the evidence you require is that you have personally experienced food poisoning. Therefore, spending time trying to prove yourself right is virtually pointless. And if you were rude and looking for support for your food poisoning incident, you now truly lost ground. Recognize a person's cooperative, emotional, and logical needs. According to the Center for Creative Leadership, appealing to people's rational, emotional, and cooperative needs is the most effective persuading approach. Their rational and educational needs are driven by logic. The material that strongly affects individuals personally speaks to their emotional needs. Understanding the degree of cooperation different people require and correctly providing it are suitable needs. Understanding that various people require different things is the key to this approach. An emotional appeal will more influence some people than logical arguments. Others will prioritize the chance to work together over an emotional connection. Knowing your audience can help you determine their need to be positively impacted. You won't be successful if you don't know enough about the people you're trying to persuade. Recognize your lane. Operate from your area of expertise and zone of influence if you want to understand how to influence others. Leave everything else to others. The day when being a master of all trades was admired has long passed. Most consumers value companies that recognize their target market and cater to their needs. You are more effective when you concentrate on what you're specifically gifted and qualified to perform and then deliver that gift to the people who require it. This efficiency is appealing. If you focus more on what others do well than what you do well, you cannot utilize good influence on others. Building trust, establishing credibility, and reliability. Knowing you can rely on someone else makes life easier despite how challenging it can be. Being trustworthy gives others a sense of security and frees up their energy for other activities. People are more likely to listen to your thoughts and opinions in your personal and professional life when they feel they can trust you, which boosts your influence. They're aware that you'll pay attention to theirs. The good news is that you can earn someone's trust as soon as you meet them. Trust can be established fairly fast. Be truthful. Avoid lying. Nothing destroys trust more quickly than a falsehood. Try to be as honest and sincere as you can. Sometimes we feel that using a white lie to escape a sticky situation is acceptable. In most cases, the opposite happens. People tend to lie because it's easier and often appears like an easy way out. However, people can usually tell when your words and deeds lack integrity. Even if they don't understand why, people often feel uneasy around liars. They have an innate distrust for them. Keep to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to foster trust. Honor your commitments. Keep your word on commitments. If you do, people will come to know and trust you. When you disappoint others, it makes them question your upcoming commitments. They won't be able to depend on you in the future, damaging their trust. Develop your communication skills. You must ensure the message you desire to convey is understood when speaking to others. Always strive for clarity in your words. Make eye contact. Pay attention to what others say and avoid assumptions. Ask if you don't know, even if you believe it will make you appear foolish. Many of the little misconceptions that might damage trust can be avoided by communicating properly. Be prepared to acknowledge your mistakes. Nobody is flawless. Have you ever tried to hide a mistake or avoid dealing with it out of concern that it might make you look terrible to others? Making mistakes and owning up to them demonstrates to the other person your maturity and regard for them by being honest with them. It also alleviates the worry that you won't admit mistakes in the future. They will understand that accountability is difficult, but will respect and trust you even more. They know they can count on you to be honest with them. Show emotion openness. Being vulnerable requires trusting other people. In one way or another, you are dependent upon them. You are being vulnerable with someone when you open up to them. This demonstrates that they can be open and vulnerable with you, which fosters trust. Human behavior is based on reciprocity, so when you show someone trust, they are far more inclined to do the same for you. Have the guts to refuse something. People with people-pleasing inclinations often hesitate to say no, even when they wish to, out of fear of upsetting others. However, saying no now and again will contribute to developing trust in your relationships. They understand that you are being honest with them and understand that it is difficult when you say no to someone politely. They can trust what you say in other talks if you occasionally say no, for example. You're not simply following them for an easy life. Be generous with your contributions. Many people do the bare minimum when working in a group because they believe they can get away with it. They attempt to gain from other people's labor. When you act the other way and give liberally, you show the group you have faith in them. It presumes that if everyone contributes sufficiently, there will be a win-win result. You're demonstrating your confidence in them by asking them to do their bit and by refusing to try to free will and delegate all the jobs to them. People will automatically trust you if you are giving with your contributions. On the other hand, people won't trust you if you do the absolute minimum. They will be concerned that you just focus on yourself and never consider the needs of others. Shower praise on others. Don't brag about yourself. Support other people's efforts. They'll note that you used the chance to emphasize their contribution rather than putting yourself first. This is a fantastic illustration of how dependable you are. You are not only thinking about yourself. Be dependable. It is challenging to trust someone who exhibits unpredictable behavior. Even though someone appeared reliable yesterday, you can never predict their behavior today. It is therefore exceedingly challenging to put your trust in them. People feel they can accurately predict your behavior when you behave consistently. You will most likely behave in the same way in the future if you have previously acted in a trustworthy manner. Making friends and expanding your social circle. It has been demonstrated that being social and maintaining healthy relationships will prolong and improve your quality of life. Positive social interactions can ease stress, lower blood pressure, and improve quality of life. Therefore, if you don't already have a group of friends, you should learn how to make new acquaintances and expand your social network. Being social and going out can be no big deal for some people, but meeting and conversing with strangers can be terrifying for others. The fear of rejection is often one of the main causes of our anxiety when meeting new individuals. We worry, what if they don't like me? What if I'm not cool enough? What if they think I'm different or weird? Or what if they make fun of me? But if you can figure out how to push those negative thoughts out of your head, you'll have no trouble making new friends and growing your social network. Cultivating meaningful friendship. People are social beings. We crave company and a sense of belonging. The human experience includes friendship, which has the potential to be one of life's most satisfying experiences. Have you ever considered the greatest approach to fostering deep friendships? The majority of my career has been devoted to studying people. This research's main goals have been to understand human motivation and interpersonal communication better. I thought there had to be a set of rules for making and keeping genuine friendships. This list should encourage you to consider what is important to you, or, at the very least, to develop deeper and more meaningful friendships. Take time to listen. We often meet the most fascinating people when they are curious and attentive. They invite people to speak before beginning to listen. Most of us delay speaking until after we've heard the other person out. Anyone can learn to listen, but doing so requires using our ears rather than our mouths. Talk half as much as you listen. The adage is 2 ears and 1 mouth. Says easy, does hard. I am aware of this. Be sincere or true. People tend to look inward naturally. 2 things result from this internal focus. The first is judgment, and the second is exploitation. Judgment prevents us from building sincere connections. Exploitation occurs when we expect to be served rather than contribute to the connection. In a friendship, being real or authentic is having the other person's best interests in mind. Don't make out that you like someone else. In my experience, most people have endearing traits, but not everyone is endearing. Regardless of the other person's likability, we should try our best to be sincere to them, even if we decide against developing a deep friendship. Don't gossip. Naturally, we don't trust those who spread rumors. I often observe people using gossip as a method of promoting connection. Did you see what so-and-so did? Despite appearing to be a genuine connection, gossip almost always results in unfavorable collaboration. Who wants to hang around with pessimists? Negative individuals, to be precise. Negative people struggle in every relationship because those interactions are based on poor self-esteem, contempt, and judgment. If you show me someone who gossips, I'll show you someone who doesn't value themselves highly. These people try to reduce the perception of those around them to mask their low self-esteem, which is terrible and clear. Of course, they never become aware of the vicious loop of negativity because their ego will not allow them to acknowledge that they are the main cause of conflict in their relationships. Always be on time. Friends always show up for their friends. We must show up when asked to serve in friendship to show the other person that we are committed to them. True friends are there for you through good times and bad. Recognize that the people not showing up in your life aren't your friends but acquaintances. Each of us have numerous acquaintances, which is a good thing. However, keep in mind that true friends will always show up. More should be given than taken. We feel tempted to keep score in our friendships far too often. Our goal should be to help our friends meaningfully without expecting anything in return. Building deep and long-lasting connections is most easily accomplished through helping our friends. Respond. Perhaps this is just a personal peeve of mine, but you should reply when a friend contacts you. While saying no is a good response, failing to respond at all is undesirable if you want to keep meaningful friendships. Respond when a friend invites you to a gathering. Your lack of response indicates your dedication to the friendship. I have witnessed numerous relationships end because the other party remained silent. I have to be honest, I'm recovering no responders. Confidentiality. We must refrain from compromising by violating confidentiality to retain friendships established on trust. Similarly to gossip, it can ruin friendships because something said in secret should stay. This is all I have to say. Shut up. Provide guidance when asked. We are so quick to provide unsolicited advice all the time. You can probably guess I struggle with this. So if you do too, know I can sympathize. We feel forced to instruct others far too often. The important thing to remember is that you are qualified to give counsel if you have the experience. The best course of action is to ask questions if you lack experience. It can be beneficial to get advice from someone who has been there. A tactic for assisting the other person in developing their response and gaining a deeper understanding of their preferred circumstance outcome is to ask questions. Don't interrupt. Interrupting is the ultimate display of disrespect. Interrupters typically lack emotional intelligence and care little about what other people think. They have all the solutions and are eager to share them with you, or they are confident in their knowledge and want you to know it. Interrupting another person often has no justification. People who interrupt others won't make friends until they meet another interrupter who is too internally occupied and unaware of their interruption. Display genuine respect. Let's face it, it is unlikely that we will develop a deep friendship with someone if we don't appreciate them. Respecting another individual is essential for developing a relationship that lasts. Bring happiness. Long-lasting friendships involve a lot of laughter, which is therapeutic. While friendships aren't always lighthearted, they should be heavily slanted toward the positive to build lasting relationships like 10 to 1. Have a good time, laugh at yourself, and have a good time with others. Here are 2 things to be aware of. Restrict laughing at the cost of others, as in the form of gossip, and don't tease one another excessively. Sometimes it is okay, but constant is unpleasant. Empathize. Having empathy is essential to friendships. Friends rely on friends, and if we don't empathize with one another, the friendship will deteriorate. Developing and nurturing lasting friendships will greatly influence our capacity to empathize with others. Friendships are the greatest gift that someone can give another person. True friendship should be valued. They are similar to gardens in that they need to be planted, nurtured, exposed to sunlight and moisture, weeded, and protected from passing hailstorms. Following these 12 suggestions ensures your connections are lasting and enjoyable, much like a well-kept garden. How to meet new people wherever you are. We often ponder how to find our soul partner when we are single. However, we often give little consideration to how to make new friends. Finding friends is far tougher than people give it credit for, especially as an adult. Check out our advice on expanding your social network. Although you won't see benefits immediately, using these suggestions will gradually help grow your social network. Number 1, be aware of the friends you want. Ideally, this is where your circle expanding quest ought to begin. Decide what kinds of friends you want and try to find them. Ones who will embark on wild weekend adventures. Those who enjoy munching microwave popcorn while watching Netflix. List a few qualities, personality traits, or interests you find appealing. This is significant since your circle of friends serves as a window into your personality. If you surround yourself with negative people, you will be pessimistic and have a warped negative view of the world. Additionally, you must be able to balance both quantity and quality. Naturally, you want to have a sizable enough group of friends, but you also want to make sure you have at least a few close, meaningful connections with those in that group. Finding the desired ratio will also make it easier to locate people with whom you are willing to connect. Number 2, be vulnerable. It's acceptable to feel anxious and reserved at first, but eventually, you'll need to become social and more approachable. We're not advocating being a total open book or wearing your emotions on your sleeve, but you must be a little vulnerable for others to feel at ease with you. Number 3, smile. Smiling is the best method to make friends or simply draw attention to yourself. In addition to making you appear warmer and more approachable, smiling has been shown to improve positive thinking while reducing stress. At first, smiling might need additional work, but it will certainly be worthwhile once you expand your social network. Number 4, care. Without having concern for your new friends, you cannot expand your social network. Even while caring for the individuals in your social circle seems obvious, many people fail to put this into practice. Relationships quickly turn into one-sided affairs rather than being a source of satisfaction for both parties. You must constantly strive to be empathetic and understanding in your interpersonal interactions. Try your best to listen, offer guidance, or extend a helping hand when mingling with new people and building relationships. When you genuinely care about someone, chances are good that person will also start genuinely caring about you. Number 5, avoid complaining. Most people don't realize how significant this is, but it is. What if a new person you met spent the entire time venting about their life, career, marriage, and every other aspect of their existence? Most likely, you'll unconsciously absorb their negativity. When you complain, all you do is dwell on the bad. Those close to you can feel bad as a result. Try to be cheerful so that others around you will want to stay. Number 6, act as you please. If you pursue your passions, you'll meet new people who share your interests. Additionally, if you recently relocated to a new city, you can present yourself as a clean slate. Do whatever you like to feel happy because nobody knows you. Visit the gym, take a pottery class, or go dancing. You'll start meeting like-minded people to broaden your social circle in addition to having fun. Number 7, vary your daily habits. We know that you typically take a nap after arriving home from work before going to the gym and returning home, but it's also possible that your daily schedule prevents you from meeting new individuals. Get out of your comfort zone to learn how to meet new people. So change up your daily schedule. Attempt new stuff. In this manner, you widen your circle of friends. Number 8, examine a few various tactics. Don't get disheartened if you go out for the first time and don't meet any new individuals. You might be fortunate and meet someone right away occasionally, but more often than not, you'll need to employ various tactics. You'll make a few unsuccessful efforts but must find the approach that works for you. Number 9, use connectors to connect. Connecting with people with a sizable social network is a fantastic way to expand your circle of friends. You can make many new friends in this method by making only one contact. Connectors already enjoy an active social life and appear surrounded by many people. These connectors will be considerably easier to get along with because they are typically eager to meet new individuals. Even though extroverts tend to be connectors, they might not have the time or energy to devote to a long-lasting connection with you. However, there's a fascinating addition to your social life because they can help you meet people seeking more substantial relationships. Number 10, take part in activities with others. Even if you prefer to go out alone, participating in group activities will give you more chances to meet others who share your interests. Most towns and cities offer group activities, such as hiking and themed city tours, which are fantastic opportunities to meet new people. Another fantastic method to make new friends and become involved in a cause you care about is through volunteering. Number 11, be prepared for awkward coffee dates. You may have met someone completely drunk and you both had fun, but when you finally decide to get together for coffee, everything completely fails. That is entirely typical, but you can make that person your designated drunk friend. Nothing wrong with that. Number 12, attend a happy hour. You're missing out if you don't attend happy hour. It's a great location to meet new individuals in your field of work and get to know your coworkers. Additionally, there are inexpensive drinks, which is always a plus. Number 13, utilize your dog. One of the easiest methods to make new friends is to have a dog. They use you, so you might as well get your money's worth from them. Who doesn't enjoy canines? Additionally, it enables you to stand at a dog park without appearing odd. Start taking the dog for walks, and you might make a few new friends. Number 14, allow others to set you up. Perhaps a rock climber who works in your building or enjoys it is known to your mother or neighbor. Allow them to set you up. If you're already wanting to expand your social network, why not? Additionally, it might turn out pretty well, and even if it doesn't, you won't necessarily have to see them again. Number 15, decide on your value. It's not only about the people you meet when networking or making new connections, it's also about the value you offer those you meet. One thing that attracts people to you when you first meet them is your capacity to provide them with something worthwhile. You can do two things to present a giver attitude when meeting new individuals. You can first listen to what they say, consider the problem from their point of view, and then share your experience or opinion. The second approach is to consider how you might be able to assist them, whether it be by providing your expert opinion or a fresh viewpoint. Giving input can often create a great impression, even if you're not an expert. Number 16, establish a routine. You must settle in somewhere as a regular, whether it's a bar, book club, or yoga studio. Just establish yourself as a regular presence. You'll become friends with the staff members and other regulars. It's among the easiest methods to meet new people. Just be sure it's something you genuinely enjoy doing daily. Number 17, make an ongoing effort to socialize with others. It's a good idea to stay in touch with new people all the time because, in most cases, not everyone you meet will wind up being a friend or part of your life permanently. In this manner, you always have fresh possibilities. Going to areas where other people will be open to meeting you is the best approach to keep meeting new people. Opening nights, galas, cultural events, seminars, presentations, and even certain networking activities can fall under this category. While going to these places isn't usually what you'd like to do on the weekend, it can help you build a huge network of unique and intriguing contacts. Number 18, act independently. Don't always ask someone you know to do things. An excellent method to meet new people is to travel alone. People first engage with those who are alone. Additionally, it pushes you past your comfort zone. So even if you start alone, you'll end up not alone. Quite poetic. Keep this in mind when learning how to meet new people. Number 19, take up mentoring. A great strategy to make new friends and diversify your social life is to share your knowledge, experience, and interest with someone younger or less experienced. Having friends and connections who share the same interests is boring. You can therefore change things up via mentoring. Additionally, you can discover that you have learned something new about a person, a group of people, a community, a field of work, or a sport. Number 20, locate a community. Wherever you reside, a place close by serves as a gathering place for others who share your interests. The challenge is locating them. Church and other religious events are always fantastic venues to meet people if you practice a certain religion. Newcomers are always welcome in these settings. Number 21, attend a class. Do you have a hobby you've always wanted to pursue but lack the resources or know-how to start at home? Enrolling in a class is a great way to make new friends and learn a new skill. There are numerous events that you could search for. There are dance lessons, cooking workshops, exercise groups, and more. There is probably a class for whatever you want to learn more about. Number 22, utilize apps. You're in luck because there is an app for nearly everything now. There are a few apps available that might help you in finding people who are looking for friends. You can use amazing applications to meet new people in your region, such as City Socializer, Meet My Dog, Meetup, and Neurify. Number 23, get involved on social media. Most of us already regularly use social media. Why not put it to use and employ it to connect with old friends, maintain relationships, and make new ones? Many websites are devoted to connecting you with people who share your interests if you delve deeper into the online world. You will surely meet some fantastic people you can add to your personal or professional social network, whether you join an online book club or conduct a Twitter conversation about your sector. Number 24, maintain contact. When you have a packed schedule, it might be challenging to stay in touch, but it can also be one of the most crucial aspects of your social life. Making significant and long-lasting connections is a way to maintain your social group. You need to get in touch with people you've newly met and meet up with long-lost friends. You don't have to bother them every day. You can tell them you cherish your relationship by occasionally sending them a message. Number 25, be in charge of your own social life. Taking responsibility is terrific advice for anyone trying to increase their social life. People won't immediately start approaching you because they know you're looking for new friends and contacts. In school, making friends was easy because you didn't have to put any effort into it. You and they were both present every day, but things are different now. It won't happen by having a coffee date once a month. You must work to maintain your new friendship if you don't. Decide for yourself and take the initiative to make choices that will help you grow your social circle and develop deeper connections with the new individuals you meet. Conclusion. You'll have a powerful influence over people and be able to lead more persuasively if you can put this into practice. Being incredibly charismatic has enormous power. We instinctively catch up on the other person's energy, body language, and facial emotions frame by frame. Thus, whoever is more persuasive, charismatic, or attractive will affect the other person who is less certain and switched on. Although it might seem like charisma is a natural talent or a personality attribute, many behavioral scientists think it can be taught. According to some studies, charisma combines affability, emotional approachability, and influence, one's capacity to sway or inspire others. Other people are more likely to perceive you as charismatic if you constantly smile, look someone in the eye, use your hands to communicate, and often use their name. Additionally, you'll come off as likable if you connect with them by paying close attention to what they say, owning your quirks and weaknesses, and looking for similar areas. It's crucial to remain authentic as you develop charisma, even if that means avoiding stressful public events in favor of more personal settings when you can converse clearly. Without authenticity and a genuine interest in other people, charisma cannot grow. If you start there, you might become unstoppable. Keep in mind that charisma is the ability to transmit enthusiasm. That entails having the zeal, drive, and spirit, and imparting those qualities so others might experience the same. Live by this if it helps you to recall what it is to be charismatic.
We appreciate you tuning in to one of our captivating audiobooks. For more immersive experiences, Here is another audiobook we're certain you'll enjoy. Don't forget to show your support by liking this video, sharing what you loved about this audiobook in the comments section below, and subscribing for more captivating audiobooks like this. Thanks for being a part of our audiobook community.